I'm going to be doing what if Deku had Bucky's powers, slash what if Deku was Bucky's son. So basically one day, adult Bucky was basically just like walking around. And by this time he already got married to Inko. Come to see, like, he was like the one girl who he like kissed in the anime in Bucky 2018, not Bucky the Grappler. I'm gonna say like she got killed by that one death row prisoner. I don't think this actually happened because I'm only like on like episode like 9, so I'm not sure if this actually happened. But basically, I'm gonna just say it happened. Basically, he killed her, and Bucky ended up killing him. So yeah, he ended up marrying Inko and getting engaged to her and everything. And basically, he met All Might and everything. He swiftly beat All Might just by kicking him, sending him flying back, and then punching him a couple times. And then All Might was done for. And basically, he actually became a hero, and everybody knew him for like being really strong, like being like the most powerful martial artist. Cause I'm gonna say Bucky's dead, even though he doesn't. That's not really his personality, but Bucky's dad was, I'm gonna say, before he was the #1 hero, but now he's the number. He was the #1 hero before, and everybody knew him for that. So yeah. Anyway, Deku, and Bucky's actually the #1 hero, and actually never mind. He's the #2 hero, even though he's stronger than All Might. It's just that he doesn't have the personality to be the #1 hero. All Might's still the #1 hero, but everybody knows that Bucky's more powerful than him. And so yeah. Basically, Deku was born with basically brown hair instead of like this like dark brown hair with some dark green highlights in it. And so yeah, growing up, I when we was like playing with Bakugo and everything, he really didn't want to play with Bakugo because he didn't like find them like interesting. And basically, he like trained with Bucky. Me and Bucky basically sparred a lot when he was a kid. And basically, when Deku was 4 and he was to go see what his quirk was, they basically saw that he basically has the same powers of Bucky and his mom. So basically, Deku basically has telekinesis. Or psychokinesis, I don't know. It's telekinesis, but she uses her hand, which makes no sense. Telekinesis, you use your mind to move shit. So I don't know why you even use your hand. Like you use your hand for like psychokinesis. So fuck it, I'm gonna just say it's both. Yeah. Anyway, and Deku basically when he like tested to see if he had like super strength and everything, he broke the whole machine, and he also like destroyed like the whole room. So he was like, Jesus, this kid's powerful. And basically, on a speed test, he got, I'm gonna say, a Mach. Actually, not Mach. That's too fast. I'm gonna say he got about, I'm gonna say they made him like run like even though he was a kid, a 50-meter dash, and he passed it in about 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds. Actually, no. 4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds. And they're like really surprised and everything. And then basically they wanted to see how adorable he was. So they basically what was it? Oh yeah, basically they like made him get like hit by like these like little things, but they weren't damaging him at all. And he was really getting bored of this, so he basically punched the thing that was supposed to be. He basically punched the I think it's like a baseball shooter thing. He basically like, easily like caught the ball. Basically, like when it's like supposed to hit him, he basically caught it, and they were like surprised by like how fast he is, like how fast his like reaction speed is. Then when they made the ball go to his max speed, Deku was easily just basically catching them, like throwing them back at the ball baseball shooter. And yeah. So next day when he went to go like basically next day of preschool, they basically went to go see. I mean, not go see. Basically, he went to preschool the next day. Everybody's saying the quirk. Bakugo said he had a explosion quirk. And when it was Deku's turn, everybody was surprised, like how like was his quirk since his dad is #2 hero after all. And basically, Deku basically said that his quirk is that he has his dad's his dad's abilities, but he also has I'm also give Deku bloodlust binding in this, just for the just for I don't know. I just want to. And basically, he also has like he basically has telekinesis, and it's like that's not really it's like can you like show us? And basically, Deku like picked up I'm gonna say like a couple kids with it, and a couple desks, and everybody was like surprised, like geez, like he's going to be a powerful hero if he wants to control his power and everything, and Bakugo kind of is jealous, and he's like, but it's not better than my explosion quirk, and Deku was like, yes it is, because you can only make sparks right now. How would that even hurt anybody? And he basically, Bakugo basically got annoyed and irritated, so basically threw a right hook at Deku with an explosion in his hand, but Deku just easily dodged this and just basically he need Bakugo right. Basically, need to kick Kid Bakugo, which sent him flying up multiple floors in the school. And everybody's like, "What the hell? How is he that powerful?" And Deku was like, "I was barely even trying." And basically, this actually made Bakugo have a couple problems with his stomach and everything. Basically, Deku actually, when I said like that one white-haired dude, basically the one white-haired American man, death row prisoner, basically killed but for Bucky's the person Bucky kissed, I guess like, his girlfriend, I guess. I'm gonna say that shit didn't happen. I'm gonna say she got killed by a villain. Yeah, she got killed by a villain. She had a weak quirk. Anyway. And basically, Deku actually got trained by those death row prisoners. They all trained him in their specialties. Like, Didn't I have a guy's name? I forgot his name, but his head looks like a rock. Spec, yeah, Spec. Oh, that's what I meant to say. So yeah, he basically got trained by Spec, and everybody else. So Deku was basically really strong. He learned a whole lot of martial arts, and he basically had a whole lot of scars from from the training. And yeah, eventually, after getting trained by them for a couple of years, I'm gonna say he was about 12, and basically he went back home and everything. And basically, I'm gonna say these was actually they're like really powerful and they're like heroes instead of fucking killing people. Oh. But I'm gonna say like one day they basically killed people and Deku knew. He basically became death row prisoners, and Deku knew that he had to go. That he basically had to stop them before they killed even more people. Actually, never mind, that didn't happen. Basically, they just like one day Deku just walked to a dojo, and basically they were all there, and they all basically told Deku that they all want to fight him at the same time to see how powerful he's got and how well they basically trained him. And also, I'm gonna say, Bucky has also been training Deku to basically, like, control his strength. Like in the anime portion, Bucky really didn't know how to like control his like strength and shiz. So like he basically almost failed on the fitness exam, which is in school. So basically, Bucky told him how to basically control him. And Deku's even smarter than Ken because he knows a lot more about martial arts, more about quirks. He's way more adaptive to situations. He could basically like get shot, but it really won't phase him that much. What else? Yeah, that's what they were. And basically, they basically all fight Deku. And basically, Deku start using like punches and stuff. And they basically know that his kicks are his specialty. So they basically try to like cut off his legs with their like basically they try to like get rid of his legs or like, he's like breaking them. But he just easily dodges this. And basically uses his telekinesis to throw them in the air. And to also make himself fly. So he's basically like he also used telekinesis to basically make himself lighter. He was throwing objects, like there's like these big craters in the floor, all this rubble going around, and basically Deku was like throwing the rubble at them. And let's say that one of them got hit by this, so they were like kind of like breathing hard, kind of. And so Deku used this chance to basically broke the rock slash rubble ball that was in front of them, and that was like basically like crush him to death. He basically broke it, and basically he basically kicked it in half, which also like made like a couple, which also made like a pretty big gash on them. And basically Deku just like, I guess it was kind of like it was like Spec's attack, where he basically destroyed the Statue of Liberty. And basically used that kind of like an aura or Muda Muda. And basically he did that to them, and they were basically done for. And then Deku used his telekinesis, put them into the air, and this like sharp piece of rubble, he basically just like threw it right at them, right into their chest. I mean, like right, yeah, basically like yeah, right into the chest, which pierced their heart and basically killed them. And everybody like and everybody else, the four other people who trained Deku was very surprised by this, and Deku just bodied them. I mean, he's like having a little trouble because they are still hella powerful. Well, they're fucking humans. They literally became superhuman and shit. And yeah, basically Deku was having a pretty hard time beating them. He had a whole lot of scars, scratches on him. I mean, yeah, scars, gashes. He was bleeding, and he was like still too weak. And Deku kind of got pissed by this. So all of a sudden, this red. His eyes basically turned red. It's like light slash dark red. And basically, Deku easily bodied one of them, which it basically he basically punched them so hard that it made them go flying. And there is basically like this basically when the Meliodas used the demon mark against Bond in the fight. In that one fight at the tournament thing, basically like that. And basically Deku did that, and they were like really surprised by this, and Deku finished them off with a basically roundhouse kick. And then basically Deku used their bodies and basically threw it at them, at the other people, to basically confuse them, like basically accelerate their mind to like think like what the hell is he doing? And Deku basically roundhouse kicks. I mean, basically, on his right and his left leg, he basically put his right leg on like the shoulder, on the left shoulder of somebody, and on his left leg he put it on the right. Man, I don't know how really. They basically, like Bucky's dad. Basically, when basically uses his legs and basically crushed them their skull. And basically he kicked them. Then after crushing their skull, he basically kicked them into the air and basically threw them with his telekinesis. And they basically went flying, and they got they basically hit a branch, a tree. And like the impact was like really powerful. So like the tree basically got split in half, and it basically fell on them. And they basically like try to like basically like get the tree off of them. But they basically just but I'm gonna say Deku like fucked up their arm like really fucking badly. So their arm was like really messed up. Like it was like to the point like it was like basically about to fall off. So they were like fuck. And basically Deku came and he picked up the tree and they thinking like why is he saving it? Then he just crushed him to death with it. And they was thinking like what the hell? Like what the hell? Like basically they thinking like and Bucky was just watching this. He's like that's my boy. And basically he just destroyed the rest of them. And then there's basically time for Deku versus Bucky. But Deku wouldn't kill Bucky, of course, because she is the number 2 hero. And Deku basically just bodied Bucky. Bucky was starting to get serious. And he started like basically to the point like he was like Deku was about to get knocked out. But in the swift moment, right when he was about to get knocked out by Bucky, Deku used his telekinesis, sent Bucky flying, and then he basically he used something to make him fly. He punched Bucky, which sent him flying, like Detroit Smash or Detroit Smash. And this basically hurt Bucky like a lot. Basically used Specs attack. I mean that one attack that you basically use Specs attack as there's anything. I mean that basically it won't stop until it destroys its target. And basically Deku kept using that over and over again, and Bucky was like pretty badly hurt. He had a lot of bruises on him. There was like cuts on his skin. He was bleeding. And then Deku used one final attack. And basically Deku was basically made a fake punch, which Bucky dodged. Then Deku basically Deku like stopped, and Bucky thought like that was like an actual punch. So then Bucky was surprised like why did he stop? Then Deku basically roundhouse basically up-kneed Bucky right in the jaw, which rattled his skull, but he was kind of stunned for a little bit. And then Deku basically summoned this big crater that basically the dojo was destroyed, and basically Deku like he used like all the rubble, like everything that was around it, and basically threw this at Bucky. He also like used like all of his power and put it into his leg, and it's like buffed up like All Might did when he was like using like his fight against All For One. Like it's like United States of Smash, like his left punch with One For All, basically. And basically Deku kicked, right? He basically kicked the big like meteor or Shibaki Tensei thing I just said. I mean he didn't kick it. He basically used his telekinesis and threw it at Bucky. And Bucky got hit by this and he was like really damaged. Like to the point he was like about to pass out. And then that's when Deku like he was pretty badly damaged. And that's when Deku with his kick he kicked Bucky, sending Bucky. And this basically made like a pretty big like wound in Bucky's like side, so stomach, like All Might's, but it really wasn't serious. I mean, it looked like it was like really badly, but it really wasn't. And Bucky basically got knocked out by this, and it was like out. That took like a lot of his energy to basically. He basically used the lesser, like I said, he used all of his energy to beat Bucky and to kill the five student I said students, teacher things, Majig, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and defeat Bucky. And also that took up a lot of energy, him basically like using his telekinesis to basically put like everything into like one ball. And so basically Deku passed out, and everybody like basically a lot of people like called ambulances, police, and they were like, "Geez, how was that kid so powerful?" And basically years pass. Deku eventually starts hanging out with this one girl who I must say is I'm gonna say he starts like hanging out. I'm gonna say like he basically goes to concerts and everything to relieve his mind. Cause I like kind of like mentally fucked him, like basically brain fucked him. I'm like doing that to his teachers, also like the training. Mm. But after a couple years, he was good, and his last day at middle school. And basically, the teacher said that Katsuki usually said, two people actually apply for your way. Katsuki Bakugo, and the other one, who is Izuku Hanma. Yes, I'm gonna say it. It's Baku's last name. Izuku Hanma. Actually, there might be a Hanma Izuku. Yeah, Hanma Izuku. Izuku. Yeah, Hanma Izuku. Because I don't know why, but they say their name backwards. But, you know. Anyway, and I'm gonna say Bakugo actually really hates Deku. It's like a one-side rivalry, kind of like Vegeta. But, you know. And basically he gets fixed like this, and basically tries to like basically they would just like has some he just listening to some music. He basically like put his phone into his desk and just like has his AirPods in, and basically yeah, basically he's just listening to some music. I'm gonna say just listening to like Netflix. Yeah, he's basically just listening to Netflix. And basically, yeah, Bakugo goes over there. He basically explodes Deku's desk. Deku notices this, and he basically took his AirPods out, and basically asked Bakugo what he won. Bakugo's like, "Fight me," and Deku basically said, "Hey, are you sure, Baku? Are you sure, Kachan?" He still calls him Kachan just to annoy him. And everything. Yeah, basically, yeah, he basically called him Kachan annoying, and and Bakugo basically said, "Don't call me, stop calling me that." And Deku was like, "Sure, Kachan." And Bakugo got pissed by this, so it was an explosion, which Deku noticed, but he wanted to be hit by it just to show Bakugo how powerful he is. And basically the side of the building that Deku was on basically got destroyed by Bakugo's explosion, and Deku was like, "He really did it." And Deku basically instantly need Bakugo, which sent Bakugo flying through multiple floors. I mean walls. And then Deku just finished him off with his telekinesis, and he basically used his telekinesis and basically threw Bakugo into the air with it. And then basically he just grabbed this like random like random stick and basically threw it at Bakugo. And then he used his telekinesis to make it like sharper, I guess. I mean not sharper, but basically I make it go like really fast. And basically it was going like so fast that it basically was so fast. That basically hit Bakugo. And Bakugo basically got stabbed by it. And it's kind of like bleeding. Then he took it out and basically used a hellish impact on Deku, which Deku just got Deku got hit by. But then Deku just used like I guess like the move he basically used would kind of look like a wolfang fist. And basically Bakugo passed out after this. And then Deku just left. And then basically Deku left. And he started walking home. He took a shortcut. He sensed the Sledgeland. So basically he used his telekinesis. He basically put the Sledgeland into the air on the roof. And basically he swung the Sledgeland around. This made the Sledgeland get dizzy. Eventually he was so dizzy he started like throwing up. And then Deku basically used his telekinesis again. Actually no. I'm gonna say Deku basically used his bloodlust binding on him. And basically just knocked out the sludge one. And he sends All Might came. So it was like, oh hey All Might came. It was like, oh hey, Azuku Hana. Oh, young young Hanma. Cause young, he calls him young Midoriya, but Midoriya is his last name. Cause Inko Midoriya. I guess it'd be like young Kama. Which kind of makes some dumb, but yeah. And basically, oh, it's young Kama. And basically, all my buzz down. And he was like, oh, he basically asked, oh, where's your sludge one? And Deku was like, oh, it's right here. You want him? And all my just like, sure. And basically, Deku like had his sludge one in his hand. He like put like test on it. He basically gave it to All Might. Basically, Deku walked home, and then I'm gonna say All Might got splashed by somebody because he just wants to be a dick. Cause I'm gonna say it was like raining, and basically they got splashed by this, and All Might got pissed about it, kind of got mad about it. He's like, damn it, and he basically like buffed up, even though he had like barely any time left. He basically jumped just enough to get to the police station, but then he made like a pretty big crater, like in his alley, and then he just debuffed down, and he basically walked to the police station, and he basically put in his pocket. He basically with his arm out, and to the police chief's arm, and basically the police chief basically said, what are you trying to do, All Might? And All Might was like, give you the sludge one, obviously. And he was like, what sludge one? And All Might basically checked his pockets and looked in his hand. He was like, the hell? I could have sworn I had him. Then they all hit this big explosion. Then they instantly run out of the building. All Might sees this big explosion. He instantly starts to run into it. Deku also sees this explosion, and since him want to be a hero and shoes, like his dad, he basically runs to that explosion. And he basically sees it's basically Bakugo is basically getting attacked by Sojin, and like nobody's helping him or anything. And so Deku comes in he uses his telekinesis, he basically uses his blood. He uses a little bit of his blood as binding on this sludge one, which like makes the sludge villain like hyperventilate, almost passing out. Then Deku basically used a kick, and basically this kick basically made a shockwave, so it basically rattled the sludge one's whole body, and basically this sludge one passed out. And so Deku, everyone's like, what's your quirk? And they and like, what's your name? And basically Deku said, my name is Izuku Hanma. I am the son of the number two hero, Bucky Hanma, and my quirk is telekinesis. And everyone's like, how are you that strong to make shockwaves? And Deku was like, that's just the training I did, and I was like naturally born this strong. And he was like, what the hell? And they basically said like, you sure you don't have a strength quirk? And basically Momo, everybody who was watching the news saw this. And basically Deku just left, and All Might asked him if he won one for all. Deku said declined and said I actually have somebody in mind. And Deku basically wanted to give one for all to don't you dare say shit about this in the comments. Don't you dare say shit about this. He tells All Might to give to Mineta. And basically All Might was like, you joking? And Deku was like, no, he's the perfect fit for it. And Deku basically been training with Mineta. He basically became friends with Mineta. And basically, yeah. And basically, I'm gonna say Mineta's pretty powerful. He's like really fast. He's not that strong, but he's really fast. But he also like uses his ball. God, that sounds weird. He basically uses quirk. His purple ball. Jesus fucking Christ. He basically uses quirk. And basically he uses like when ever someone's like trying to hit him, if they're like too fast for him, he basically puts like his balls on it and top, like on his like all around his body, and basically whenever someone like tries to attack him, basically it basically reflects it. I mean, basically reflects their attack. You know, unless it's like fucking fire or like, yeah, unless it's like fucking fire or like something piercing or like getting frozen, like it was like shit like that, like shit like stuff like that. And I was like, he had, even though he's a pervert, he has a lot of potential. And basically, All Might trained him, and eventually he starts like, basically starts to like grow on All Might. And Deku basically taught the martial arts. He taught All Might martial arts to be better. I mean, it's like over and over the 10 months they was training everything. Deku started to date girls, I guess. He started going on dates with girls. Eventually, he stumbled upon I'm gonna say one day he stumbled upon Momo. Yeah. And basically him and Momo dated and shit. Deku was pretty rich. I'm gonna say he was like pretty rich because he had his own. He didn't have his own business, but his dad was rich, and he basically like had an allowance and shit. And so yeah, I feel like doing chores and like if like they could like be actually like also like Bucky also gave Deku allowance another type of money. I mean another type of allowance. Basically, if Deku basically beat Bucky in fights, like he'll like give him like basically if Deku beats Bucky, depending on how many times. Like if like when Bucky and Deku fight, it basically like sponges, and whoever wins gets like the other person has to pay the money, and Deku wins a lot, and Bucky only wins a couple times, and sometimes it's ties, but Deku mostly wins, and I'm gonna say Deku's a pretty good cook too. And so he goes on a date with Momo, they enjoy it a lot. They go to a concert, or basically I'm gonna say some villains attacked. And Deku just easily took out the villains, and like the singers basically Deku and asked him if he wanted to sing, and Deku was like, sure. And so they basically gave him like and basically the other singers, bandmates basically it's like, are you sure about this? And basically the leader, slash lead singer, basically said, yeah. Basically Deku sang, and like he was like way better than them, and it was like, what the hell? Like he has like a lot of potential and talent. And they basically sang, and everybody's surprised by this. But then they all like started like going along with it. Cause I'm gonna say Deku made his own song in spare times. Cause like he also not only did he want to be a hero, he also wanted to be a singer, slash rapper. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically yeah, he dates Momo and shiz, and basically he basically drops Momo off with his car. Cause I'm gonna say he has like a black Camaro. Yeah, black Camaro. And basically drive the Momo home within it. And basically, yeah, she gave him a peck on the cheek, and he was kind of like, he was kind of surprised by this. And basically, he just drove home like in a lot of shock. He basically just jumped on his bed and basically passed out and shiz. Basically, yeah, him and Momo were official couple. And basically, Momo, basically, what is he? Oh, yeah, him and Momo, and basically, Deku actually met his grandfather, also known as, actually I forgot Bucky's dad's name. Damn, I forgot his name. But basically, he met him, and basically he basically like taught Deku like a lot of stuff. And like mostly like skills he uses today are mostly things his grandpa taught him. And basically, yeah. Deku, who it's 10 months happened and him and Momo are dating, and eventually Deku's dad Deku there's also already has a business, and basically, mom will say Momo's dad, and mom basically asked Bucky if they wanted if they basically asked Deku basically asked Bucky if they wanted their children to just marry each other because it'll be like really beneficial to their company and shit. And Bucky was like, I'm not really sure about this. It's like their decision. Like they shouldn't be like forced to marry a person they really don't know nothing about and shit. But it was like they're all dating and stuff, and it was like, and Bucky was kind of getting, and like they could like bring out like more information, something that would be like really useful to him and shit. And then eventually Bucky just got annoyed, so he's like, fine, we'll make a meeting with him and we'll talk about when I get home. I'll talk about it with Izuku. And I'll talk about it with my son. When you guys get home, you can talk about it with your daughter. And basically, Baku, I said Baku, my bad. Bucky got home. He talked to Deku about it, and Deku was kind of hesitant about it. He's like, eh. But Bucky said, and Bucky was like, just do what you feel like. It's not, you don't have to. Yeah. And Deku like says sure. And after like a couple of days of thinking about it, and so does Momo. After a couple of days of thinking about it, after her family basically told her. Told her. And basically Deku, what is it? Alright. Basically, Deku, yeah. And that, guys, is actually when we'll leave it off. I'll continue this in the next part. Tell me if you like it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Also, before I leave, if I go off, just wanted to say another what if is going to come out later today, and that it's probably going to be a part 2, or actually I'm probably going to do Alucard part 3 and a part 2 to what if the credit summoning quirk, and a new what if. So I'll see you guys later, and peace.